Hello, and welcome back to Camp David the Retreat. My name is David. Do you usually wrap your windows every year, use this double stick tape to wrap around the perimeter of the window or on the casement itself, and then during the wintertime it comes loose, it breaks, it's no longer effective, and you kind of give up on it? Well, there's two different alternatives. You can use this same product, but I suggest you do it like you would the storm door. You have a regular door, you put a storm door on the outside, that stops the wind from hitting that door. That will help you from getting, additional cold air and weather inside your house. You can do the same thing by wrapping the screen, and I do it that I not only go from here, but go all the way around to the inside. Excuse me. And then when I place the screen back in place, I have a nice clean plastic sheet that stops the wind from blowing inside the house and creating a thermal barrier. The barrier actually now between the screen and the plastic and the glass itself is your new thermal barrier, and it does a lot to provide comfort and warmth and reduce the breeze or any kind of draft that may be going into the house. Now this, using the Frost King product, is about $1 per window and it takes about 15 minutes. I'll show you how. Or on the top of the scale is a window insert. Vinyl plastic, metal trim, foam around the outside. This also will do the same thing, although it adds an additional quieting factor, and it also increases in insulation, so maybe a degree or two warmer also. Okay, so for here, we have a fairly normal breeze that comes off the lake, which presses against the window seals, usually creating some leaks and just some cold feelings around the windows. This window we're going to go ahead and leave blank. This window we're going to use the plastic wrap that you just saw us put together. And then on this last window, we're going to use this window insert that you can get from windowinserts.com. It is a metal frame with a foam rubber exterior perimeter and then a very heavy vinyl plastic that's just clear as glass. Excellent product. So how much is this really going to cost? Well, it's only about $3 to $4 per window in about 10 or 15 minutes of your time. Very first thing you're going to need, though, is your DIY shrink window kit, which you can get from any DIY store like Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards here in the Midwest. Also, the next thing you're going to need is a tape measure. Also, you're going to need a pair of scissors to cut the double stick tape and the cutting of the original plastic. Once the plastic is in place, the average hairdryer produces plenty of heat for initiating the shrinking of the plastic. And once the plastic has been done, then you just need a sharp edge to do the final trimming. That's it for tools. Let's go ahead and get to work. Now we just go ahead and stick the tape to the edge of the rail. I did wipe it off with just like Windex or something real quick and easy. As you can see, I usually fold the tab up the paper backing so that I make sure that one tape crosses over the top of the other tape. That way there's no gaps and the plastic is sure to stick. Now I do it end for end. So here's the top edge. I go ahead and pull this protective layer off and then go ahead and center the plastic, giving it a couple of inches of overlap, sticking it to the double stick tape, and then running your finger across it to make sure that it's a good tight seal. Once that's in place, we'll go ahead and expand the plastic out some more, making sure that there's plenty on each side to go around, and then down to the other end. Again, once you're at the other end, you go ahead and remove that protective paper backing tape. And you don't have to pull this very tight. Just pull it enough to go ahead and put it in place. And again, run your finger across it to make sure it's a good, adequate seal or it's adhering nicely to the double stick tape. Do this on all four sides. Once you've got that done, you're pretty much all set. Then all you got to do is just trim off the excess of the plastic. And you don't really have to be overly, I guess, accurate or overly precise about doing that either, because it's all behind a window. Go ahead and use your personal hair dryer on a high heat setting, and as you can see, it's very cool how this shrink film works, becoming absolutely clear and no wrinkles, no gaps, nothing whatsoever. Do not use a heat gun, as the heat coming out of a heat gun is actually hot enough that it would melt and actually create a hole. Then you got to start all over again, and that's no fun. Hey, can you get that area, let's see, right up over, yeah. Oh, okay, good. Thank you. I was afraid you were going to forget that. Then I'd be looking at that all winter long and having it bother me. So once you've got this all tight, you should make sure that these retention springs that go into a gap at the very top of the window area, and then these are the clips that you use to take it back out. Once you got that all done, you are ready and set. Let's go install it out front. Now this is the vinyl window that we wrapped downstairs with the Frost King product. Usually you put the tape on the outside, but I wrap the tape all the way around on the inside so that it has a little more gripping strength and it's not pulling the window itself apart. Important to make sure that you keep the window clips on the top not too tight, that they still work. And then there's these little pins here that clip into the side. So when you actually install it, this is not for this size window. I have to go get a different one. Well, what do you think? Now you have the knowledge, you have the ability, you have the tools. If you go out and you buy some shrink wrap, you can provide a warmer, more comfortable home for yourself, and you'll lower your bills. Hi, Maggie. You're going to make everybody more comfortable. And Caroline, too. Hi, Annie. Thanks for joining us this evening. I have some friends that need some love. Hi, honey. You're such a good girl, you are.